Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be sharing a story with you. This story begins with an introduction to the history of dragons. It tells us that in every 500 years, a girl is born with the power to turn serpents into the mightiest of dragons, where a good serpent would protect the universe and a bad one would destroy it. The next scene shows us an aerial shot of LA of what seems to be a disaster at the Seven Palms Resort. This hysterical man can be seen shouting about some prophecy and a beast being awakened. Ethan Kendrick, a reporter, approaches this disastrous scene, but the detective there pushes him away, telling him that the press isn't allowed in the area. As Ethan's about to leave, he catches a glimpse of something being uncovered on the site and quickly takes a video of it. When he gets back to the office, he watches that video and recognizes the scales of some creature. He then gets a quick flashback from when he was still a young boy, where he and his father were at an antique shop. While his dad was trying to sell something to Jack, the shop owner, a young Ethan comes across an antique chest that suddenly opens up by itself, shining a bright light at him, revealing some creature's scales. Jack sees this and quickly pretends to have a heart attack and asks Ethan's dad to call the ambulance for him so he can talk to Ethan alone. As soon as young Ethan's dad is gone, Jack drops the act and tells Ethan that he's been waiting for someone to open that chest for a long time. He tells him that inside this thing lies the scales of a creature named Emugi, a serpent from Korean folklore. Then we see a flashback from the year 1507 in Korea. Jack narrates that every 500 years, an Emugi is rewarded for its good deeds with a chance to become a dragon through the gift of Yu-Yi-Ju. However, there's a bad creature named Baraki who wants that gift. So heaven decides to hide Yu-Yi-Ju on Earth and send down its best warriors, Boken and Harem, to protect it. But Baraki unfortunately knows where it is and immediately goes after it. The heavens had hidden Yu-Yi-Ju inside a girl, Noreen, who bears the marks of a red dragon, where in 20 years, she'll have to fulfill her destiny. She has to sacrifice herself for the Emugi to turn into this celestial dragon. So over the years, Bokum raises Haram to be a skilled warrior and Noreen into a beautiful woman. But Haram and Noreen fall in love with each other as they grow older. One day, Baraki invades Noreen's village with his army so that he can get the gift of Yu-Yi-Ju from her. Bokum and Haram then go to save Noreen from Baraki after she's been captured. After fighting here and there with some bad guys, they manage to save her. Bokum quickly tells Haram to take Noreen to the Emugi, while he holds off Baraki's army, in which his arm ends up getting wounded. But because of their love, Noreen is unable to fulfill her destiny as Haram couldn't bring himself to sacrifice her to the Emugi. So the couple jump off the cliff together in each other's arms. The scene then returns back to young Ethan and Jack, where the old man is telling the boy that he's the reincarnate of Boken, while Ethan is Haram. So he tells him that he needs to find a girl named Sarah, as she has the Yu-Yi-Ju, and just like Naren, she also bears the dragon mark and has to be sacrificed in order to fulfill the mission and stop Baraki, who will be after Sarah pretty soon. He then adds to this to take Sarah to the Grand Cave when she turns 20. Finally, he gives Ethan Haram's amulet. Then the scene goes back to adult Ethan holding onto the amulet around his neck. He then leaves his office to ask his cameraman and friend Bruce to help him find Sarah, as he thinks she's connected to the disaster. Although confused, Bruce helps him track down this mysterious girl. In the next scene, here's Sarah working out at the gym with her friend Brandy as they watch the news with Ethan reporting. But when Sarah sees that shot of the scales, she rushes out of that gym and goes home, pulling out this book of symbols. When Brandy comes over to Sarah's house, she's all shocked, seeing that her friend put all these weird symbols around her walls. Sarah tells her that it's the only thing she thinks can protect her now. Although confused with those strange words, her friend tries to make her feel better by taking her out for some drinks. But still, Sarah's not feeling it, so she decides to head home not long after. And as she's heading out, 3 men approach her and try to get all frisky with her. But before they can do anything, Jack appears and easily takes him out, mysteriously leaving. Later, Sarah gets questioned by the police about what happened, but the officer doesn't believe her and thinks she'd beaten up all the men by herself and is afraid that she'll get arrested. So this reporter hears this juicy story and immediately takes a photo of her. That made the officer upset, so he chases him outside. At his office, Ethan has a dream about going into Jack's shop and meeting a man who can control objects with his mind, who tries to attack him, but he wakes up just in time from that nightmare. And he goes to Bruce to ask if he's found Sarah yet. But without a last name, Bruce can't find this Sarah with a dragon tattoo. Just then, the reporter from earlier comes in and tells him that he'd recently met a Sarah and shows Ethan her picture. Elsewhere, an attack happens at the zoo, and security sees this giant snake creature eating an elephant. He tries reporting it to the police, but they think he's crazy, and they don't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Sarah's dreaming about being attacked in the parking lot by that same man, where he uses a magic sword to attack her. But just like Ethan, she wakes up in the nick of time. However, her dragon tattoo starts hurting, so she calls an ambulance, and they take her to the hospital. Brandy learns that her friend is in the hospital, so she and her boyfriend go to her house to get some things. But when they do, that man from both their dreams and a serpent attack them, and eventually murder him. The next morning, Sarah wakes up in the hospital, trying to head outside to get some water, but she's shocked to discover that she's locked inside with a guard at the door. Elsewhere, Ethan and Bruce finally track Sarah down, but just then, they get a call about a couple getting attacked at her place, so they quickly rush there. When they get to the crime scene, Ethan learns that Sarah's in St. George Hospital, so he quickly goes there. And it looks like Sarah's here causing a scene, with everyone trying to calm her down, eventually leading to her being put in isolation. When Ethan arrives at that hospital, he finally meets her. She tells him that something bad's about to happen, and he believes her. But just then, a giant serpent attacks the hospital and the two quickly run away. They meet up with Bruce in the parking lot, and he immediately drives away after seeing that serpent. Fortunately, they manage to escape from this monster, but their luck runs out when they bump into a man. This mysterious man suddenly transforms into a black armored suit and starts attacking them. So Bruce takes out a gun and shoots him. But Mr. Bad Guy has a magic shield, deflecting all the bullets. So this guy easily knocks him down, but before he can finish him off, a woman knocks him down with a car and takes Ethan and Sarah away. Meanwhile, the crazy dream man is revealed to be Baruki, where he has now summoned his army, and they have risen. Elsewhere, the woman drops off Ethan and Sarah, and as soon as they get out the car, the woman turns out to be Jack. In the next scene, the Secretary of Defense can be seen having a meeting. The government thinks that the disasters at Seven Palms Resort and at the hospital are somehow connected, and everyone starts sharing theories about the origins of strange creatures. Agent Perez suggests it has similarities to this old legend, but of course the Secretary of Defense thinks that's all ridiculous and comes up with his own theory that the creatures are here for Sarah, so he asks everyone to find her. Meanwhile, Sarah and Ethan are getting close, and the two start falling in love, just like their reincarnates. Knowing that Sarah has trouble with her thoughts, Ethan brings her to a hypnotherapist to help her dive into those memories. She starts seeing Noreen's memories and learns that her reincarnate had failed her mission due to her love. But just then, the serpent finds them and they quickly run away, giving us a nice chase scene. And luckily, with smart thinking, they manage to outrun the creature. Ethan then calls Bruce for help to secure a chopper. He and Sarah meet up there with him, where they both head up to this empty room, and Bruce secretly hands Ethan a weapon before leaving. Suddenly, Jack shows up, reminding Ethan of his duties, and to bring Sarah to the Grand Cave, and not let his love for her distract him from the mission. But just then, the serpent finds him again, chasing Ethan and Sarah out of the building, with them almost getting caught, but luckily, Bruce came with a car, and they drove away. Before they get anywhere, a serpent throws another car in the path and blocks it. The creature goes to attack, and just when it's about to eat him, the police arrive and shoot this thing, allowing Sarah and Ethan to make a run for it. Meanwhile, Baruki's army lines up outside their cave, with Baruki unleashing a bunch of flying creatures to find Sarah. Back in the city, that epic chase is continuing, wreaking havoc all over LA. The pair reach the building where the chopper's waiting, and they climb up to that helipad. The serpent's following them, managing to take hold of that chopper before it's able to fly off. So with no choice, Ethan and Sarah jump out of the chopper back onto the helipad, where the serpent almost devours them. But luckily again, the US Air Force arrives and shoots that thing. Elsewhere, we can see the two escape the building and head towards the streets. Two FBI agents in a car find them and help them escape. They drive the two to an empty warehouse, where one of the agents believes the solution to saving the city is to take Sarah's life. And as he's about to shoot her, the other agent shoots him first and helps the two escape again by giving him the keys to the car. As they're driving away, Ethan tells Sarah that he isn't ready to lose her and tells her that they can change their destiny. Without a moment's peace, Baruki's creature finds and attacks him again, causing their car to crash. Soon the creature descends towards him and Ethan faints. When he wakes up, he finds himself tied up in Baraki's lair, watching Sarah being led to an altar. They offer Sarah to Baraki, who's now this enormous beast. But before they can hurt her, Ethan's amulet starts lighting up, unleashing a powerful blast on Baraki and his army, eliminating everyone except one soldier. Ethan frees him and goes to save Sarah, but the soldier blocks his way, and the two get into a fight. However, Baraki easily overpowers him and Ethan falls to the ground. But just as that soldier's about to finish him off, Ethan's amulet lights up again and disintegrates him. Ethan quickly goes to Sarah, but Baraki wakes up and pushes him away. The beast then goes to attack Sarah, but just then a Moogie comes out of nowhere, saving her. The two enormous creatures start fighting. It's pretty epic, but Baraki manages to defeat a Moogie. Knowing they can't defeat Baraki, Ethan tells Sarah to run for it, but she refuses and instead offers herself to the creature. She releases the Yu-Yi-Ju to Baraki, but just then, as it's about to absorb the power, Sarah tricks it and throws Yu-Yi-Ju to a Moogie instead. A Moogie absorbs it and becomes this celestial dragon. Sarah faints with Ethan holding her as he watches a Moogie and Baraki fight. With its new form, a Moogie destroys Baraki with this flame blast. A Moogie then returns to the couple, where Sarah slowly dissolves into this spirit form. She tells Ethan that she'll always love him for all eternity and disappears. The movie ends with a Moogie flying back into the heavens. Always a pleasure having you guys around. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you had a good time today, and get ready for the next one.